I know it's coming end of January, and normally the normal thing is you only say, what, 2 weeks after January, 2 weeks into January, and after that people go, yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah, but I have to say that because obviously it's the Chinese New Year as well. Yeah, is today, wasn't it?
Today, yeah.
It's today. So, happy Chinese New Year.
Thank you.
Yeah, happy Chinese New Year. We've got some new faces here. Great. You get our emails, and you've made it to our first cigar event for January 2025. And you all well, I'm solo today. As you can see, my daughter, Rekha, that you all know is not here tonight. And why? So who follows her on Instagram? Who follows her? Yep. So she's in Nicaragua, living it all. Yep. She's loving it. She's topping her suntan up. You all know Marshall as well, yeah? So Marshall is in Dominican Republic. He's gone to the Davidoff factory. And Jean, this is how good we are to our guys who work for us. I stay here and send everybody else away.
Yeah, when you go to Cuba.
So Jan, where are you going on Friday? The Placencia factory, yeah?
Yes.
So he's off to Nicaragua on Friday to see how the New World cigars are done. So we're in for, well, you know what? You all seen the price, haven't you? £65 for January, and you're all thinking, wow, that's a bloody good price. Well, it is a good price because you know what? January, what we all strapped off in January. There you go. Cash. Yeah. We thought we'll be kind. We won't go stupid money, but we still need to have a decent cigar. So any thoughts? So we all know we got Romeo and Julieta. And the guys who've been here before know what we normally do. Who's had the Cupidos? So, you guys haven't had the Cupidos. And plus, guess what's happening? It's February, isn't it? So it's Valentine's. Hey, all coming together now? Hey, all coming together now? Huh? Well, you're all wrong. You're all wrong. Yeah? Because I was sitting there thinking, what shall we do? What shall we do? And I will tell you the truth, okay? You guys are thinking, bloody hell, that's a big bag. What's he got in there? There's a story in here, okay? And do you know what? It was the Romeo and Julieta Cupidos that we were gonna do, but the problem was, we sold too many bloody tickets, and I only had one box left. And how many in the box? 20. And we got, just as well, I only had one box, because the cigar that we're going to have now is, I personally think is better. There are probably about 1 or 2 people in here that would have had it. Please tell us what we have in, isn't it? Okay, who's had the Añejados family? Yes. Who's had the Añejados? See, so far 1. Did you say yes? 2, 3? It's good. Huh? The Romeo and Julieta, Churchill, Añejados, we have tonight. So, do you know the Añejados? A quick, brief history on why Habanos made the Añejados range. Okay, so Añejados in Cuban terms is aged cigars, not vintage, aged cigars. So we all know they make regional cigars. We all know they make limited edition cigars. We all know they make Reservas cigars and Grand Reservas. So what they did, they wanted to bring out another program called the Añejados range, which they started in between 2015, 2016. They announced it originally in 2010, 2011, where Cuba made some Añejados cigars internally in Cuba, release only, and the 2 that were released was the Hoya de Monterrey de Gio and Vegas Ravena. No, El Redomondo.
Yeah, and the Vegas Ravena 3.
And 3, and Vegas Ravena. Thank you, David. See, he came in handy, didn't he? Came in handy. So that's the 3 they did in 2010, 2011, only in Cuba to see how it went. And they only sold, I would say, like 500 boxes of each, hardly anything. And this is why they brought out the world release of the Añejados range. So the cigar that you're going to have tonight is from 2002. Yeah? So it's got how many years on it? 23. Pretty good, huh? And they have discontinued the Romeo and Juliet Churchill with the gold band. Okay, so the Churchills that you get now is the Romeo and Juliet with the Romeo and Juliet band on it. This is what you're going to have is the original gold band that they started doing the 60s. And now they discontinued it. So this is the packaging it came in. I will send it around, but I want to show you. So what obviously, on the outside of the box, you'll see the smaller government health seal. Yeah, and the inside, you've got the original government seal, which they don't use anymore. So there's a telltale signs on size of the government health seals, box code, factory code, and everything, okay? So luckily, they've box code did the same, 2002, 2002. So it's got good age to it. So this is what we're going to smoke tonight, okay? It comes in tube, so it's the silver tube, which when you see Romeo and Juliet's in silver tubes like this, they don't make anymore, okay? These are discontinued. You can't find these unless shops have it in their stock and they're selling it. Just to let you know, the last box that we sold in here, we sold it for £100 a stick, right? But tonight it's at 65. I don't think we're gonna have any left in here. And this is my last box. So this is my last box I've got. So everybody's privileged to have this box, okay? And let's see how they smoke. I haven't smoked one for a while, okay? So Jan's gonna go around handing one to everybody. But guys, when you take it out, undo the tube. When you take it out, smell the cigar. Take it out, taking the cigar out slowly, smelling it. Do the whole ritual. Because if you just take it out, light it, and smoke it, you've missed that aroma of the cigar. And obviously, I haven't opened it up since I received them. So obviously, these were boxed in 2002. And how the Añejados range works is Habanos make the cigars, box it, and then age it. Where the limited edition cigars are aged, all the leaves are aged separately for 2.5 to 3 years, and then bought and made up together, and then they become limited editions. Okay, they don't become limited editions, sit there, and they age then. They don't do that. Only the Añejados range are pre-made, put away, and then aged. The cigar, if you have a look, it has a second band as well. The second band is the actual Añejados band. Okay, so it says on it Añejados. Everybody excited? Yeah. Yeah? Did you expect this cigar? No? No. So once you guys are, once everybody gets settled in, lit up, and smoking cigar, I will go through a history of the other Añejadoses that made. I'll show you, if guys who haven't seen it, at least you can see the boxes here, okay? So I'll go through other cigars. There's one other one in here which we'll do sometime this year. All right, so you got to keep an eye on that email that comes out. All right, but you'll never know when I'll do it.
Thank you, Mr. P. This is great. Really, really lovely cigar.
Cocktail, we have decided for one It's the oldest Cuban cocktail called canchanchara. Hard to pronounce. It's come from Trinidad. So that cocktail was created over there. It's made with honey, aguardiente, which we don't have right now. And also we make it with rum and twist, but it's punchy. So normally cocktails are with 50% ml, so here we do with 75. So it's a strong cocktail, sweet. So it goes really well with the cigar because cigar parts have age, but it's not a light tobacco, so you will feel it. So again, it is perhaps the oldest Cuban cocktail ever made, so we just try to recreate it here. We put some dash of soda water just to mellow it down, but believe me, it's got the sweetness, it's got the strength, and it's gonna go really well with your cigar, okay? Perfect.
Thank you. So gents, right, you got to listen to me now. You've had enough time to chat. So how's the cigar for everyone? Good? Flavor-wise? It's not a dead cigar, is it? It's not a dead cigar at all. A lot of flavors. And the guys who come here normally, and I always say this to everybody on our cigar nights, is if you don't retrohale, you're missing out. Okay, you're missing out. All right. So if you don't know retrohaling, learn how to retrohale. The whole thing about retrohaling is not inhaling, taking out your nose, but you will feel far more flavors of the cigar than your palate will give you. Okay. So the whole beauty of smoking any cigars, is retrohaling. You don't have to retrohale the whole cigar. Yeah, 3 or 4 times in the whole duration of the cigar. People, connoisseur, professional cigar smokers, I could say, they could smoke a whole cigar retrohaling. Okay, but you got to get to that level because sometimes it can give you a head rush. Yeah, and if it gives you a head rush, I always say to people, just ask for full fat Coke. You got to have something really sweet and just drink it down. Bring your sugar level back up again, okay? In 2016 came out the Monte Cristo. Does anybody recognize this box? So it's the only time they made Romeo and Juliet Churchill. They've never ever made Churchill ever again or ever before. It's the only time they made a Monte Cristo Añejados Churchill size. And when this box goes around, guys, put your nose to it, because it is literally tobacco chocolate. And the actual wrapper, it's much silkier than the Romeo and Juliet. Look at this. So who's had the Monte Cristo Churchill Añejados? No one. Great. So that was the first Añejados to come out in the market. Okay, the Monte Cristo, and boy, this cigar delivers. And then you have there's one cigar I don't have, unfortunately, which I thought I had, and I can't show you. The Romeo and Juliet Pyramides. Who's had the Romeo and Juliet Pyramides Añejados? No one, but I can't show you because not even that's the only box I don't have, okay? So sorry guys, I can't show you that. Then you had the Joya de Monterrey Hermosos No. 4. I'm sure quite a lot of you would have had this cigar, huh? Because this you can still find everywhere. It's like a Corona Gorda size. It's got the new Joya band on it. This is rich, but not as rich as the Monte Cristo. And at the same time, they released the Partagas Corona Gorda, which we just talked about. Yeah. Now, for me, I'm a Partagas guy. I love any Partagas that they bring out. When this came out, unfortunately, I didn't like it because it wasn't a Partagas profile. And I haven't smoked one for a while. We'll put this at the front. So gives me an excuse to smoke one then, see? Yeah. So this is another Corona Gorda size. It's a nice ring H. And then the last one was the H. Upmann Robustos. It's the only time they made a Robustos, a true Robustos, okay? Who's tried the Upmann Robustos? Yeah, one. So you guys got a lot of cigars to smoke, haven't you? Huh? Monte Cristo double Corona, Monte Cristo Churchill. I say double Corona. Monte Cristo Churchill, Partagas, Hoyo, Upmann, Robustos, and the Partagas Corona Gorda. And I don't have the Romeo and Julieta, unfortunately. Now, Habanos did announce that they're going to make another Añejados, which was supposed to come out last year, which is the Monte Cristo Chubos. Now, if you noticed, if you guys follow the world of cigars, yeah, you used to be able to buy the Monte Cristo Chubos off the shelf and the Petit Chubos off the shelf. Yeah, but both of these, if you notice, have the Monte Cristo no, both of them have gone. You cannot find these at all. So obviously what Habanos do, they remove the stock from the inventory and they put it away because obviously they want it to age, make it into Añejados, put a second band on it and then release it. Yeah, so this is supposed to would have come out last year, but they haven't come out yet. So hopefully we will get it, or we may not get it. Because Cuba has now, guys who came to our Trinidad, when did we do the Trinidad? I think a couple of months ago, I mentioned Habanos has decided to do a new program, which they started off with the Cabildos, yeah, which is a limited edition, but they made a big humidor, which I think I showed it here last time, didn't I? The DuPont humidor. Yeah, the big DuPont humidor, which they made the Trinidad Fondodoros. Who's had the Fondodoros? I think everyone here has had the Fondodoros. So what they've done, they've called it the vintage program. And as a connoisseur, I find vintage, and I've talked about this before. What's a true vintage on a cigar?
20 years.
Thank you. 20 years. Where Habanos now are saying in the humidor that they've released between 10 to 15 years, they call it vintage. So they've started doing the Trinidad Fondodoros, saying it's got 10-year band on it, but they're saying that the cigar in there is aged between 10 to 15 years, and then they're going to do a 15 to 20 years, and then 20 to 25 years, 25 years to 30 years, and then so forth. So they've got a lot of cigars to make and keep. We have to wait and see. I think there's quite a lot of young people in here, which you'll get a chance to see it. I don't know about my lifetime. Well, let's see, hope so. So you youngsters have got lots of new ranges to come out, yeah, and to try as well. Maybe it'd be interesting to see what Habanos classify as vintage compared to what we classify as vintage. So everybody had a good view on the cigars? Yeah? We'll be opening up a few of these over time, but I know. So my favorite out of the Añejados range is the Monte Cristo Churchill. That's my favorite. James has just said to me, is there a way to speed up an aging process on a cigar? No. A lot of people think you can age a cigar on high humidity, yeah? But what you do there, you kill the cigar. You kill the flavors. And if you age a cigar on virtually 50%, less than 50% humidity, the cigar becomes dry and just stops. Yeah, and you have the chances of the cigar cracking or breaking, becomes too fragile. So if you want to age a cigar, the only way to do it is age it between 62 and 65% humidity with temperature of 17, 18 degrees. So it's cold. Yeah, so what you're doing there, you're suspending but aging it slowly. And you will find that the cigar will age better. You can check your cigar if it's burning too hot, okay? So if you hold the cigar, go right underneath where the ash is and hold it, yeah? If you can hold it without burning your fingers, it's perfect, okay? If you find your fingers are getting too hot, that means the cigar is too hot. That means you're smoking it too fast, okay? And that's where the acridness comes in, the bitterness comes in. Because the slower you smoke it, the more enjoyable flavors you'll get, because all the oils, the flavors bring and burn together.
Thank you for watching. If you'd like to be part of our next cigar night at No.6 Cavendish, make sure to subscribe to our mailing list at www.no.6cavendish.com. See you there.